The fact that there are pressure clips holding things in disturbs me. It is so unfriendly to work on. It looks like it was never meant to be serviced, honestly. Hi guys. So today I took apart an old Timex watch and it was a disaster. Laugh at me while I'm learning. Laugh at my misery? This is going to be my first time ripping apart some watches. I'm going to admit that I'm completely ignorant of what to do. I'm going to start with the cheapest, the $17 American Timex from the 60's. Well, I just read that these probably have a snapback, which is probably why this thing has a little indentation over here. Yeah, that was easy. Well, it looks like there is a movement in there. Oh, that's just a pretty thing. I'm noticing a distinct lack of jewels. It does look really dirty in there. Oh, it just falls out. Oh my god. It's held in by just the crown. So this one looks like it's just the crown. There's a screw holding down the winding stem. I should probably be working on something, huh? Alright, so admittedly I don't have many tools. And I have fewer brains. So I'm going to be using this spatula. I'm going to be using that to work on for a minute. Okay. That looks like it's holding in the winding stem. Yep. So I've got some tweezers that are definitely not for this. I'm just going to try to pick up the whole thing. Okay. Great. Oh boy. Oh man, I'm shaking. You can see the winding stem has left this nasty stuff here. Let's see. This is the balance. And the hairspring. It moves. It's beautiful. Isn't that lovely? I should have moved all the hands. Can I just move them? Oh, that's a bad idea. Well. Yep. Just tossed them. Perfect. There's the hour hand. Where'd the minute hand go? Probably in Nebraska. Oh, you'd have to wait for me to find the minute hand. Well, I think I've lost the minute hand. So, this is now just, can I get this watch working? The next thing I'm going to do is try to uncase, or take the face off. There are just these little tabs holding it in. You can see these tabs. One there. Okay. 3? Let's see. Oh yeah. Well, too bad this is never going back together. Alright. Yeah, this is not the prettiest movement I've ever seen. Alright, I found a box to put things in. High quality. This seems to be the main barrel. This seems to be the click. Oops. Does this thing come off? Oh, nice. It's like the hour reducing wheel thing. It like fits. This thing fits on top of that. Oops, now they're stuck together. Oop, now I threw them across the room. Alright, so those are definitely part of like the showing stuff off train. What's this thing do? This is the barrel. It's got this click. It has this bearing here, and it's also got these lots of teeth, which means that this is what, the barrel bridge, but also all these other things. Let's take this thing off. If I can screwdriver it, I'm gonna screwdriver it. Oh, we got this thing. Oh, it's sprung up. No, it's either I'm magnetic or these things are magnetic, because they're sticking to me. There's definitely some magnetism problem here. This gear went there. Now we have this piece, which has a very small shaft. I thought I was going to need a tiny hex wrench. It looks like I'm not going to need a tiny hex wrench. Whoa, super magnetized. Is this me? Oh, you can see the pinion here from the winding portion. It's sitting in this little slit down here, which is probably how power gets to the bridge. The fact that there are pressure clips holding things in disturbs me. I'm probably able to just pull this bridge off the other one now that I've unscrewed it. Yep. just comes right up. See if it reattached to anything. It looks like I accidentally just disassembled a lot of things all at once. Oh, okay. Let's see. Uh-oh. Yep. Well, obviously I need to learn how to disassemble that. I'm gonna need to wear some eye protection. So the mainspring jumped out of the barrel. So there's some wheels here. Didn't exactly get to learn the order they went in, but maybe my video will have it. Super delicate pieces. I also don't know where the pallet forks are. What am I missing? Where did the pallet forks go? I found this escape wheel. I found the balance. I have no idea where the pallet forks are. Is this the pallet fork? Oh my god, there's no way. What? I kind of get the feeling that this is the pallet fork. It's got a little fork end, and it's got these two little slappers. This is a cheap watch. This basically doesn't have a modern train. If you look at the bottom side of the pallet fork, it's got these two pins. I haven't learned about this yet. That's why it looks so odd. It looks odd because it's odd. Well, what I expected was an escape wheel, balance, and some pallet forks, kind of on a separate bridge. But there's only two bridges here, right? There's this one, and there's this one. Hey, let's try to wind up this mainspring. How does this work? Oh, I don't have a mainspring winder. I'm just going to try to spin this up by hand. Well, I just did some YouTubing, and it turns out you start with the outside, and then you work towards the inside. Whoops. I just wasted like a half hour trying to fumble around with this. Man, I feel dumb. This is so much easier. How the heck do you get that in there? You just keep going. Absolutely beautiful. Now, that's like a bomb, so I'm just going to put that down. Please do not explode. Oh my god, the barrel arbor is attached to the case. Okay. Everything is magnetic. That's why this watch wasn't running. I think I've been trying to go at this upside down. So I'm going to try to take the balance off. And it's screwed on this side. So I get the feeling, if I just unscrew it, it's going to go play nicer on the other side. Where I would have expected a balance jewel was just this like brass bearing, I guess. And it had a screw in it. I backed it all the way out, and the balance is still attached to this portion via the hairspring. So I wasn't unscrewing like a balance sub-assembly, it was just a tuning mechanism. Well, I have no idea. I probably wasn't supposed to do that. There's the balance bearing there, because it looks like the brass fitting that's on the other side. Oh, that kind of makes sense, because there's another gear on the bottom. Oh, and these two holes are basically where the pallet jewels sit. These go there. Before I put the escape wheel in, there's another gear on the bottom of the escape wheel, which means that I have to put something underneath that. Could it be this one? Then the escape wheel. So those guys mesh. And then the pallet fork. There's two little stupid feet. Just gotta stay there, bud. Okay, you can kind of see how the pallet fork is right on top of where the balance's little spinny bit is. There might be something that goes over here and here, that meshes there. That almost makes sense. Well, this is a real pain in the butt. I can see why no one wants to work on this. Well, I think I'm giving up, but I've learned a lot. Let's recap what I've learned. I've learned how to spin a mainspring. I've learned that maybe you should figure out how to reduce all of the torque in the mainspring before it explodes everywhere and you lose parts. I've learned that Timex uses the worst pallet fork design I've ever seen. I got a little practice attempting to put back together stuff. I don't think I'm putting this back together. It is so unfriendly to work on. It looks like it was never meant to be serviced, honestly. There's only really 2 bridges here. This was a disposable wristwatch. I mean, it really was. It was pretty. It's got a pretty dial. It really does, but the rest of it, man, not good. Really not good. Everything is stamped. There's like really yucky, gross dirt. Dust-proof, waterproof, shock resistant. This case design just lets so much junk in. Well, I can't believe it's claiming to be waterproof. Like, there is no sealing on that. Shock resistant. It doesn't even have a jeweled bearing. And it definitely doesn't have a spring jeweled bearing. The balance jewel is a brass screw? I don't understand that. So you get what you pay for here. I think I got my $16 worth. I don't think I'll be attempting to reassemble this anytime soon. This was never meant to be serviced. Am I a wimp for giving up? Thank you, Timex. You were an excellent first attempt to learn something. And literally nothing more. They used some good leather. You want to see me do this one? Watch. Oh, that's satisfying. Ugh. Disgusting. This was my first time taking apart a watch, so I learned a lot. Learned that if you don't use hand removal tools and you just pull, your hands will likely fly across the room, and now they're gone forever. I also learned that a kitchen spatula is a somewhat decent work surface. When I took this apart, the whole thing seemed to be magnetic, so I think one of the first tools I'm going to look at is a demagnetizer. It seemed like every screw I picked up was sticking to my tweezers, so I also put in my Amazon cart a whole bunch of different lubricants like oils and greases because I see now why that's important. I also need some finger cots because I was just everywhere with my fingers and that was gross. I also see now why you should probably invest in optics, some jeweler's loops. I'm excited to work on a higher quality piece in the future, so I'm gonna buy a whole bunch of equipment now that I know kind of what I need to do. Thank you for sharing in my journey. That sounds really cheesy.